refinance. A refinance is replacing your old loan with a new loan, with new terms in order to get better terms or accomplish some sort of a financial goal. Just because you buy a house and get certain terms on your loan doesn't mean that you need to keep those terms for the entire life of the loan. And generally speaking, a home loan will be the cheapest form of debt that anybody will ever have. Typically, home values will increase over time, giving the homeowner the ability to use their equity for other purposes. When deciding whether to refinance or not, the borrower and their loan officer should analyze the costs versus the savings. Analyze how much the closing costs are going to be and how much is it going to save you to determine whether or not it makes sense to do the refinance. One type of refinance is a cash-out refinance. In order to do a cash-out refinance, you have to have equity. Equity is the difference between your home loan and the value of your home. As your value goes up, the more equity you get. And the more equity you have, generally the higher loan you can borrow against your house. Cash-out refinances can be used for several different reasons. You can use it to consolidate other higher interest rate debt, like credit cards, personal loans, car loans. All these different types of debt will typically have higher interest rates than mortgage loans. So by refinancing that debt into the mortgage debt, you pay off higher interest rate debt with lower interest rate debt. Some people will use cash-out refinances to pay off student loan debt or to pay for their kids' college. Or they'll use it for home repairs or maintenance. By borrowing against the value of your home to finance the maintenance or the improvements, which will generally increase the value of the home, you've kept your money in your savings, maintaining the equity in your house. Another reason to refinance your loan could be to shorten the loan term. Shortening the term of the loan can save you thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. And having a longer loan term generally means you're spending more to pay back that loan over that loan term. Shorter loan terms have higher monthly payments than longer terms because you're paying back the same loan balance over a shorter period of time. You always want to make sure that you're comfortable with the higher monthly payment before committing to a shorter loan term. To determine whether or not refinancing into a shorter loan term makes sense, you'll want to weigh the benefits versus the costs. Generally, you're saving monthly on interest payments on a shorter term. So you want to look at the interest that you're saving, divide that by the costs, and if you think you'll still be in the property after that amount of time, then it might make sense to refinance into a shorter loan period. A shorter loan term might make sense for someone who values paying off their home and owning their home outright rather than having a mortgage on it. For some homeowners, the most important thing might be to have the lowest monthly payment, which would have the longest term. For many mortgages, there aren't any prepayment penalties, which means that a borrower could do a longer term mortgage and then choose to make additional principal payments, which would then pay the loan down faster. A longer term, lower payment mortgage might be something best suited for an individual who's retired, who has a fixed income, or maybe for an individual who wants to keep as much money invested as possible as opposed to paying down his mortgage, or maybe for a family who just needs to hold on to as much money as they can to pay bills to keep the lowest monthly payment to make that possible. The longer the term, the lower the monthly payment. So a 30-year amortized loan would have a lower monthly payment than a 15-year amortized loan of the same amount. So for someone who purchased a house 3 years ago on a 30-year fixed loan, they would now have 27 years left to pay. What they could do is refinance back into a new 30-year loan, reset the amortization schedule to reduce the monthly payments, and hopefully get a lower interest rate at the same time, saving them a significant amount of money on their monthly payment.